The damage doesn't always begin with betrayal. Sometimes, it begins when your attention leaves the person beside you. Not physically, not obviously, but emotionally. It begins when your curiosity, your emotional availability, your need to be seen and understood slowly turns outward. Not because your partner vanished, but because the connection quietly weakened, and instead of repairing it, something else slowly took its place. Emotional neglect rarely arrives as a dramatic rupture, it arrives as divided presence. Your body is still there, your routines continue, life looks normal from the outside. But your inner world is no longer fully shared with the person you chose. And that absence is felt, even when it's never spoken. When emotional, mental, or relational energy is invested elsewhere, the bond at home begins to thin. Not because a rule was broken, but because attention is the currency of intimacy. Where your attention goes, attachment follows. And slowly, without intention, the relationship begins to starve. Calling something aloud doesn't change what happens inside the nervous system. The mind still compares, the heart still responds, the emotional muscles that once reached for your partner are now being exercised somewhere else. And love, without nourishment, cannot stay strong. This is how emotional neglect takes root. Conversations shorten. Eye contact fades faster. Moments that once felt shared now feel rushed or distracted. Presence is replaced with preoccupation. And the partner left behind may not know what's wrong, only that something feels missing. They feel warmth cooling, connection slipping, effort becoming one-sided. They begin to emotionally reach while you emotionally drift. And without answers, they often turn inward, wondering what they did wrong, why they feel unseen, why love feels harder than it used to. Comparison begins quietly. Someone else feels easier to talk to, more validating, more attentive. And without realizing it, expectations shift. What once felt intimate with your partner now feels dull, not because love disappeared, but because it's no longer being fed. Love doesn't collapse all at once, it erodes. By the time the silence is noticed, it has grown familiar. By the time the distance is named, it has learned how to stay. This is the quiet devastation of emotional neglect. This isn't about breaking rules, it's about breaking presence. Connection isn't protected by permission, it's protected by boundaries. Boundaries around where attention goes, where emotional energy rests, where intimacy is allowed to deepen, and where it is not. Strong relationships aren't built by expanding access. They're built by preserving focus. By choosing, again and again, to invest emotional availability where commitment lives. By noticing distance early and turning back toward repair instead of replacement. Because emotional neglect isn't about intent. It's about impact. And presence is not something love can survive without. Healing begins the moment we learn to come back, fully, to the people we choose. That is how connection is protected. Be prosperous and share happiness.